We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hey everybody, welcome back. And today is Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. And this is going to be, I don't know, episode 28 or something, somewhere around there. This is your daily recap. And today I'm feeling pretty good. Yesterday and today were pretty good days. I'm have energy. I'm not exhausted. I'm not overly nauseous. I'm a little bit nauseous, but not too bad. And I don't know. I seem to be doing pretty good. I slept fairly well last night, which has been odd lately. You know, it hasn't been that common. So I slept. I actually slept till about 6 o'clock this morning. Like I said, I feel pretty good. I've had plenty to eat and plenty to drink, and I've gotten around. I've moved around a lot. I've done a lot of things around the house. Probably nothing important, and probably nothing that I should have been doing. But I did stuff. Went up and down the stairs quite a lot, and like I said, I feel good. So that's your update on that. I'm not upset about how things are today, but I did spend today interviewing a guy. He's a 58-year-old jiu-jitsu black belt who also had a heart attack, David Meese. And he had a heart attack 10 years ago when he was a blue belt. He had it during jiu-jitsu class while he was rolling on the mat. So he had some advice. Well, I interviewed him, and we'll get to know what his experience was like, what he went through, and how he recovered, how he rehabilitated himself, and how he got back on the mat and continued in his journey, and a few years later was able to acquire his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So it was kind of an inspiring story of things don't have to end just because you had this thing happen. And if you, I've actually talked online with several people lately who have had heart attacks, and they've continued to train in the martial arts. Some of them have had to dramatically change their training routine. Some of them have not. I'm sure it's going to vary from person to person and the severity of their heart attack and how much damage has been done to their heart. But some of them are, I still go out and roll. I just roll at about 50%. I try not to overdo it. Or I just try to keep my heart rate below this specific rate just to, protect myself. And some people are like, hey, I'm raring to go. I feel better than I did before I had the stents put in because now my blood flow and my oxygenation and my cardio is better. So it's a little bit different for everybody. But there are inspiring stories out there of people who have suffered heart attacks and recovered and gone on to continue in their sport and enjoy the things that they enjoy. And so they didn't have to dramatically change, their hobbies or anything afterward. And there's some downtime, there's some rehabilitation, there's, some space in there where you have to, recover and you have to let your heart heal. But doing your cardiac rehab, you give yourself, 3 months, I think. Cardiac rehab typically is 3 months long. And once you get through that, I guess the world is your oyster, as they say. So this week, I'm heading back to work. Nothing spectacular planned for this week that I'm aware of, other than working and cardiac rehab for the 3 days this week. So I'll keep you guys posted on how that's going. And I don't know if I'll do an episode every day. I keep saying I'm not going to do that anymore. Like I'm going to have to slow down and do it. But then I find time to throw one together and post it. So I've still been doing it every day. And I like doing it every day. Just a brief little recap. That's just more or less like a diary for me. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up this pace forever. So it might come down to 2 or 3 episodes, 4 episodes a week or something. Or, I can throw together 2 or 3 episodes on a weekend and release them throughout the week. But it's not really the same, because you aren't getting my feelings right now, how things are right now for me and how I feel. So that's kind of what I wanted to do, was show you the ups and downs and tell you about how I'm feeling now as opposed to yesterday, and the frustrations and the angers. And so you've been lucky the last 2 days. Nothing really to rant about, except that I feel all right. I feel pretty good. So I'm hoping this is a trend and it will continue, so that I can feel more like I'm recovering and I'm rehabilitating and on the road to recovery, so to speak. Because when you feel shitty and you don't have the energy, and your heart isn't cooperating with you, and your breathing isn't cooperating with you, which is still not great. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's great. I get out of breath doing the podcast. If I go too long talking, it starts to be a struggle. So if I screw up and have to record this 2 or 3 times, then by the time I'm done, it's a bit of a struggle, because I'm having to breathe and speak and expel this air. So occasionally I'll get out of breath just trying to record this podcast. It takes a while, but that's how it goes. I'm not quite, the lung capacity, I guess, isn't quite where it should be, as far as me being able to talk for an hour nonstop without needing to take a break or something. So, but hopefully that'll all come around and get corrected and heal up. But until then, I'm just going to keep going down the road, and I don't have any choice to do that. But that's the only thing there is to do, is to keep moving. Just got to keep going, and I have to keep working at it. I have to keep this slow progression. Going to have to start pushing people a little bit, just a little bit, so that they can push me a little bit harder, so that I'm not feeling like I'm not doing anything. I need to feel like I'm advancing. So, yeah, I need that. I don't know what it is, but I need that little pat on the back right now saying, you're doing good, you're doing good, you're doing fine. You don't really get that, not from my team. I mean, they're just like, you didn't die, you're fine, here, do this thing. I don't know. The healthcare system, I hear such great stories from people that their cardiac team was great. And they loved those guys, and everybody was so helpful and informative and stuff. And I don't know, I'm a little disappointed, because my team's not like that at all. And I understand that they're busy. They have several hundred other patients, and they can't cater to me like that. But I don't know. And it's not just them, it's healthcare in general. The last couple of decades, you're just, like I've mentioned before, you're just an assembly line. They're just going to push you through. So you have to stop them and ask them questions, and demand answers, I guess, because that's what I've had to do. And I say, hey, I need to know this thing. And then eventually somebody will get around to answering it, and informing you. Usually a nurse will call you back and tell you what the doctor didn't have time to tell you. But, I can't complain too much. I was incredibly lucky, and I understand that. And I don't want to be overly critical of people. I understand that they have a lot of people they're taking care of, and they don't have time to personalize everybody's treatment. But still, hey, it sucks. You should. All right, I'm going to say it. You should stop sucking and start, paying attention and talking to your patients more. Stop doing this 5-minute office visit bullshit where you charge the insurance company $1,200 to talk to you for 4 minutes. And generally the nurse comes in and talks to you for most of that time anyway. And stop telling people that I listened to his heart and checked his blood pressure, so that was a health checkup. No, it's not. Knock it off. Go back to doing real doctor shit instead of this gonna put you on a Henry Ford assembly line thing and get as many people through as possible. I don't like it. I don't think that's the way it should be. We need Marcus Welby. That's what we need. And, maybe some Trapper John. At a minimum, we need House. Because at least he's entertaining. So anyhow, that's how my weekend has been. It's been fine. I feel okay. I feel pretty good. I feel better than I have today. Today I feel better than I have the last few days. So there's been improvement. I'm happy about that. I hope it continues. But for now, that's really all I have to say today. So I have to edit interviews. I posted the first part of my interview with Ed, my friend Ed, who also had a cardiac event last year. And I still have like 3 or 4 other segments of my interview with Ed to edit and put together. And then I'll have probably 3 or 4 segments with David, because we did the interview. It was about an hour's worth of interview. So we'll see how many 15-minute segments I come up with out of that. And I'll be posting those too. And I'll keep you guys posted. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for checking in on me every day. Thanks for watching me whine like a little bitch about how things are going, and listening to me complain about healthcare. So I appreciate your tolerance, and I will see you next time. Here's some outro music. I'm going to do that for you. Is it playing? I can't tell. I don't hear it. All right.